Gossip Girl, which first aired back in 2007 and starred the beautiful Blake Lively in the lead role, returned this year for a sequel to the hit show. Starring Jordan Alexander and Whitney Peak as half-sisters, the show returned this year and ran for 12 episodes. Johnathan Fernandez, who plays Whitney's father, has been speaking recently about what it's like playing her dad. Stay with us, as today we are discussing Fernandez's comments. First up, we're discussing the sequel and how it was received. Narrated by Kristen Bell, who reprised her role from the original, the sequel takes place almost 10 years after the original ended, but features a whole new cast apart from Bell. Obviously, since the original aired, high school life has changed drastically after the arrival of social media. The sequel included more adult-themed content than the original, as HBO Max has more relaxed standards than the CW, which the original aired on. The show now includes more LGBT characters, and there's much more diversity than the original, which is great to see. It is also set in the same continuity as the original, so characters from the first show can be referenced or even appear freely. The show, which features storylines about oversexed teens who are embroiled in teen drama, should really have a lot more going on than what actually takes place in the sometimes dull reboot. But this is the world we live in now. It seems as though the showrunners are worried about any sort of dialogue that could be construed as offensive, which ultimately takes any drama out of the show. We still have the all-seeing, all-knowing character of Gossip Girl, and old characters are often referred to, but the show is slow, and the drama seems as though it is too easily manufactured, and, dare we say it, boring. Did you guys watch the rebooted version of the original Gossip Girl? What did you think? Let us know below. Next, what did Fernandez have to say about playing Whitney's dad? Stay with us to find out. After the first season of the Gossip Girl reboot aired, we now know that we will be treated to a second season of the sequel to the original, and Johnathan Fernandez, lawyer and father to Zoya on the show, has recently revealed all about what it's like working with his on-screen daughter. Fernandez has appeared in a range of shows, but it's Gossip Girl which he appears to have enjoyed more than most. He revealed his friends had taken to calling him Mr. Reboot, as he also appeared in the Lethal Weapon reboot as well as Gossip Girl. He jokingly said producers don't even need to ask him if they're planning a rebooted version of a hit show, as he will obviously sign on. So Fernandez plays Nick Lott on the show, father of Zoya, and he reveals the pair hit it off immediately, even describing Whitney as a dream in every direction, and that when they first met at the Warner Brothers test, they instantly connected. He goes on to reveal that her mom is pretty intimidating, and that he had to act a little more mature than usual, partly because he was playing Peak's father on the show. He said, "Anybody who knows me would have been really laughing at my demeanor because I wasn't saying cool. I wasn't saying any slang or any of that stuff, just to have a little older air. It ended up working out because I wanted to at least come off to people who are watching Whitney and I as parental, or at worst, a guardian, but not a big brother. Cool. So why did the original work so well and the reboot was a little meh? Let's discuss. The first thing we noticed about the reboot was the driving force behind the titular Gossip Girl had changed. In the original, we find out that it is actually Penn Badgley's character Dan who's behind Gossip Girl, although it is voiced by Belle. This time out, the teachers are behind the gossip and are seemingly frustrated at the wealth and influence exerted by their students. We get it, and no, we couldn't do that job, so props if you have to teach these sorts of kids. In the pilot of the original, Blair and Serena are instantly recognizable as the show's main focus, and their relationship, however naive and immature it can seem in parts, ultimately seems real. Just think back to your own childhood and how bitchy high school was. The sequel, which focuses on the relationship between half-sisters Zoya and Julian, focuses on the dissolution of their relationship due to Julian paying for Zoya's education after after she thought she had earned her own scholarship. Usually, this would be an act of love, but the show somehow turns it into an issue, which causes a feud between the sisters. We also don't really have a real villain. The original pilot made it clear from the very beginning that Chuck Bass was the enemy and Dan was the good guy. We don't really see this distinction with any of the characters in the reboot, something which we would have liked to have seen. What did you think of the reboot's pilot episode? So what do we know about Season 2 so far? Well, not much as it happens. Right now, we have no premiere date, but we can expect to see the Season 1 regulars all return for the second season. We also know that the reason Season 2 was given the go-ahead was because of the huge numbers Season 1 saw. This, in all fairness, will have largely been down to curiosity as to how the show related to the original. Now that people have seen the first season, and so many were left feeling underwhelmed, it will be interesting to see the numbers for the second season. We can also probably make assumptions at what to expect from the plot of the show. The recurring theme is always a strong female dynamic, complicated love triangles, and family woes. What would you like to see addressed in the second season of the reboot? Let us know below. What did the original cast have to say about the reboot then? Stay tuned to find out. So, as we've mentioned, the reboot faced a fair amount of criticism, not only for its storylines, but also its lack of drama. The original crew voiced their opinion before the reboot had aired, so let's see what they had to say. Josh Schwartz, executive producer on the show, revealed that the crew had reached out to everyone who was involved in the first show to let them know it was happening and that if they wanted to be involved, there might be a way to make that happen. He went on to say that the show was still going to go ahead with or without them, but that it would be great to see them again. Chance Crawford, who played Nate on the original, said the reboot just made him feel old. We feel you, Nate. He also said they should be able to get away with edgier stuff these days, which was so obviously lacking in the reboot. Why didn't the writers listen to him? Blake Lively, star of the original, was a lot more standoffish when asked about the reboot, and even alluded to the fact that producers hadn't asked her about it, saying, "I think it is happening. I don't know. I'm not a producer. I'm not involved. You've got to call them." Well, okay then. Leighton Meester also said she had not been asked to be on it either, which leads us to believe Schwartz might have been telling Porky Pies. Which show did you prefer? News on how many seasons the reboot might give us next. Showrunner Joshua Safran was recently asked how long he saw the show being around for, and fans of the show will be delighted with his answer. He said, "In my mind, I would happily do 5 or 6 seasons of the show. I think that the characters really can support it. The world is so much larger than the first one even, and the first one made it to 121 episodes, you know? We know the original version of Gossip Girl lasted for 6 seasons, admittedly with more episodes per season than the reboot, but the new one could easily run for the same length of time according to Safran. One way the reboot differs from the original is in how many characters and supporting characters there are on the show. This offers more chance for character development and storylines to intertwine more than the original, which often just focused on frenemies Blair and Serena. How many seasons do you envisage the reboot version lasted for? Do you think we need to see 6 seasons as Schwartz would like? Or after seeing the first season, do you think it might be better leaving off after season 2? Let us know your thoughts below. As always, thanks for tuning in today, guys, and remember to stop by next time for some more revelations. And why not do us a solid by sharing this video with any gossipers you might know of? We're sure they'll love it. See you next time, guys!